All in favor?
Aye.
Those minutes are approved. And John Sullivan, thank you very much for all of your work in preparing those minutes and everything that you have done and during your time with Tuckahoe to support the Historic Preservation Commission meeting. It's been a pleasure working together with you and very grateful for everything that you have shared with us.
So moved.
Yeah.
All in favor. So for tonight's public meeting, we need to determine if a recommendation shall be made to the Village Board of Trustees to designate 1 Generoso Pope Place, also known as the Generoso Pope Building, historic Tuckahoe Village Hall, as a historic local landmark. This public meeting has been open for a number of months. We voted to close the meeting at our last meeting, which brings us to tonight. Do we have a resolution prepared for the Generoso Pope Building?
We do indeed. I feel a little self-conscious going after Peggy, but here we go. Recommendation of the Tuckahoe Historic Preservation Commission to the Tuckahoe Village Board of Trustees to designate the property at 1 Generoso Pope Place as an historic landmark. Action by the Tuckahoe Historic Preservation Commission. Resolution date, April 1st, 2024. A resolution to recommend the designation of the property at 1 Generoso Pope Place, Tuckahoe, New York, 10707, aka the Generoso Pope Building / Historic Tuckahoe Village Hall. We, the duly appointed members of the Tuckahoe Historic Preservation Commission, do this first day of April 2024 adopt the following resolution. Whereas, there's only 5. Whereas, as set forth in the Tuckahoe Historic Preservation legislation, the Tuckahoe Historic Preservation Commission may recommend landmarks and districts of historic and cultural significance for designation by the Tuckahoe Board of Trustees, and whereas the Tuckahoe Historic Preservation Commission received and accepted a completed landmark nomination for 1 Generoso Pope Place, filed on January 3rd, 2024, and announced the opening of a public meeting for review and discussion of the nomination at its meeting on January 3rd, 2024, and whereas a public meeting on the potential designation of 1 Generoso Pope Place was held on February 28th, 2024, at Tuckahoe Village Hall, and whereas the Tuckahoe Historic Preservation legislation provides the following criteria to qualify the recommendation of the designation of an individual property if it: A, possesses special character or aesthetic value as part of the cultural, architectural, social, or economic history of the village, or B, is identified with persons or events significant in local, state, or national history, or C, is the birthplace or grave of a historical figure of outstanding importance, or D, embodies the distinguishing characteristics of a type, period, or method of construction or design style, or is a valuable example of the use of indigenous materials or craftsmanship, or E, is representative of the work of a designer, architect, or builder, or F, represents an established and familiar visual feature of the community by virtue of its unique location or singular physical characteristic, or G, has yielded or may be likely to yield information important to the study of the prehistory or history of the region, state, or nation. Whereas the Tuckahoe Historic Preservation Commission has made the following findings of fact concerning the proposed designation. The Generoso Pope Building / original Tuckahoe Village Hall is directly linked to the cultural, architectural, social, and economic history of Tuckahoe because of the role it has played in the village for over 110 years as a municipal services center as well as a cultural heritage center. Its distinct neoclassical architectural style serves as a visual reminder of the period design popular at the time when Tuckahoe experienced a population boom not long after it incorporated as a village within the town of Eastchester, 1901. The building has become one of Tuckahoe's most recognizable and distinguishable buildings, and its location next to the Tuckahoe Metro-North Railroad station that was opened in 1847 makes it one of Tuckahoe's most observed structures. Its owners for the past 20 years, the Generoso Pope Foundation, have contributed significantly to the social and economic growth of the local Tuckahoe and extended Italian-American communities and well beyond. The skeleton of Washington's unknown soldier, likely that of a young militia boy who fought in the skirmish that took place at the Ward House at the intersection of Winter Hill Road and White Plains Road in Tuckahoe on November 18, 1777, during the fighting of the American Revolutionary War, was found at the bottom of Winter Hill / Tuckahoe Hill at Midland Place and Main Street in the summer of 1922, along with at least 2 other deceased. On George Washington's birthday in 1923, the casket carrying at least one of the bodies was laid in state at Tuckahoe Village Hall, current Generoso Pope Building, and a tribute attended by the whole Westchester community, as cited by the New York Tribune, February 23, 1923, numbering in the thousands, according to reports and including representatives from various military organizations and Tuckahoe's churches, was held to honor their lives and service to their country. Wreaths adorned the Tuckahoe Village Hall building next to Tuckahoe's train station in the center of the village. The chestnut casket's coffin plate read, "Washington's Unknown, Tuckahoe, New York, 1776. Almost 50 years later, on October 23, 1972, President Richard Nixon visited Westchester County, and during a motorcade tour that made 6 stops, he spoke only on the steps of Tuckahoe Village Hall, present Generoso Pope Building, to receive keys to the village from Tuckahoe's mayor. The Generoso Pope Building / original Tuckahoe Village Hall embodies the distinguishing characteristics of the neoclassical architectural style popular at the time of its construction in 1911 through 1913. The cornices and copings are made of marble from Tuckahoe's very own marble quarries and provide valuable examples of the use of indigenous materials and craftsmanship. The Generoso Pope Building / original Tuckahoe Village Hall has been standing in the exact same spot with very little exterior alteration for over 110 years. Its location in the heart of Tuckahoe, right next to the Tuckahoe Metro-North Railroad Station, has made it a very recognizable and identifiable symbol of downtown Tuckahoe. The Generoso Pope Building / historic Tuckahoe Village Hall at 1 Generoso Pope Place strongly meets the following criteria. A. Possesses special character or aesthetic value as part of the cultural, architectural, social, or economic history of the village. B. Is identified with persons or events significant in local, state, or national history. D. Embodies the distinguishing characteristics of a type, period, or method of construction or design style, or is a valuable example of the use of indigenous materials or craftsmanship. F. Represents an established and familiar visual feature of the community by virtue of its unique location or singular physical characteristic. Now, therefore, be it resolved that we, the duly appointed members of the Tuckahoe Historic Preservation Commission, do this first day of April 2024, determine that 1 Generoso Pope Place, Tuckahoe, New York, meets the criteria defining a landmark as set forth in the Tuckahoe Historic Preservation legislation, and, accordingly, we recommend to the Tuckahoe Board of Trustees that they hold a public hearing and take a vote to make this individual site a Tuckahoe local landmark.
Fantastic. Thank you. Do we have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you. The resolution passes. It now leaves the Historic Preservation Commission on its way to the Tuckahoe Board of Trustees, who will in the near future open up that public meeting to discuss the Generoso Pope Building, historic Tuckahoe Village Hall, as Tuckahoe's 3rd historic landmark. So thank you to everyone for all of your work on that. We uncovered some additional information since our last meeting about the question that was raised: who came first, the Tuckahoe Village Hall or the Bronxville Village Hall? And we learned that the Tuckahoe Village Hall, which was construction began in 1911 and finished in 1913, was a few years behind the Bronxville Village Hall, which was built in 1906. And the architect of the Bronxville Village Hall was not the same as the Tuckahoe Village Hall. Theirs was Bates, who was known for quite a number of structures in Bronxville. Unfortunately, the Bronxville Village Hall, which we mentioned had everything that the Tuckahoe Village Hall did: police station, library, fire department, not the fire department, of course, municipal services. We mentioned the pool, but I don't think we mentioned the bowling alley that they had in the Bronxville one. But that came down in the late 1930s. By 1940, was gone, no longer at its original position at Crafton Pond Field, but rather would be replaced by the Bronxville Village Hall that stands today. So close, 1906 to 1911, but Tuckahoe has its original Village Hall, and we hope that it will be standing another 117 years from now. Moving on to miscellaneous business. Does anyone have anything? I like to give a joke, but remember my Groucho Marx that I wouldn't want to belong to any club that would have me as a member. I think John took it way too literally. But I will give a joke though, just for you, John, because I don't want to.
Fool's Day. You gotta have a joke.
I don't want to leave it on that note. So we've been talking about architects, and did you hear the one about the architect who couldn't even make a sandwich because he relied totally on subcontractors? Thumbs down.
I tell you, I come to look forward to these, Jenny. I really do.
Is this why you come early so you can Google some jokes before the meeting?
Weeks in the making here. Weeks in the making of the joke preparation.
Which were the ones you didn't choose?
Those will come up next time. In fact, actually, a plan B was a Groucho Marx joke that said, what was my best joke? It's the one I haven't told yet at the next time. So there you go. Stay tuned for that one. But is there anything else?
No, I just want to, again, extend my best wishes and wish you well. And thank you so much for all the work that you did. You know, for me, since I've come on, what I've seen, I know it was even before that. But thank you, and I wish you the best.
Is this why we're being so nice to John? Should we have been nicer to? Should we have been this nice to you before? But yes, congratulations. I hope, but we'll miss you.
Thank you. It's really been a pleasure to serve this commission. It's been an honor, and thank you guys for helping me learn in the process. So I appreciate that.
Thank you. I believe you because I think you're enthusiastic in addition to supportive. So thank you very much. Our next meeting will be scheduled in the very near future, and hopefully somebody can get us that information up on the website. Big shoes to fill, but actually, John, I'll try and get it to you as soon as possible, and we'll get that scheduled. If there is nothing else, this was a big meeting as far as our local landmarking is concerned. If there's nothing else, do we have a motion to adjourn?
Motion.
And a second? And all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. To adjourn tonight's meeting, thank you very much.